and it cut me. Most I cried in my life by far. I just lost my father, and it cut me. Most I cried in my life by far. 41 years old, the most I've ever cried in my life over the last month or whatever. But then I'm talking to other people. I need to be strong now for him. You know what I'm saying? I need to be the rock. So I can't. I have to pull back mine. And I don't know if this is societal. I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna pull back mine so I can be there for my loved ones. So that whole phrase, I guess, of be a man, be tough, all of that stuff, you're helping other people as well because my thought is, tell me if I'm wrong, I can deal with more than you can deal with. So I need to be there for you over myself. Like that concept, I mean, personally, bro, how would you tell me to deal with the situation that I currently am going through and have went through?
Okay. So here's that question that comes through. And, I believe that's the Pivot podcast. Great pod. But this person, interestingly enough, is dealing with the loss of a parent, just like the young woman, my bad, just like the young woman, Nicole, that we saw at the top of the show. And the one I ran into on the street. But my question for you all is, based off of what we know, based off the principle, the pattern, and the path, how would you answer this hostess question? How would you answer this person is saying that, his parent passed, but because he feels that he's stronger than other people, he needs to keep showing up for other people because he thinks that he can handle the pain. And so I wonder, he's saying, how do I deal with this situation? What advice would you have for me? Because apparently trying to take on other people's burdens because you want to play, because you feel that you're stronger than other people can backfire. And so that's really where his question is coming from. I wonder, based off the principle, the pattern, and the path, how would you answer that? Remember, our principle today was that love is the only true guidance system. The pattern was that people who are looking for and guided by the intellect will be lost in illusion. People who are guided by outcome are necessarily being guided by the intellect. And the intellect is incapable of dealing with the totality of reality. And so it produces doubt. As I'm looking at this and I'm hearing this person, the very first thing I'm thinking is, just like when you get on an airplane, you cannot try and feed somebody else the oxygen mask. You cannot try and secure somebody else's support system, somebody else's connection to life through the oxygen mask until you've secured yours first. Until you secured yours first. So in times when this person is asking this question, but the question itself is coming from a certain level of doubt, in the grieving process, this person's like, am I grieving right? But asking it in such a way that the story that he is telling himself about how strong he is for other people could potentially get in the way of his own healing. Because he's not allowing himself to fully deal with and process his own hurt. If the way to process our hurt is to go and help somebody else, that is very sweet. But the problem is that if they do not respond in a way that we think is itself appropriate, we can end up lashing out at them, hurting them for not seeing us, for not doing right. We end up compounding the grief part. We're not serving out of love. We're serving, or at least we're not serving out of love exclusively. We're also serving because we need to. Because, oh man, I feel like I gotta go help somebody in order to process and get through my own pain. as opposed to just getting quiet and sitting with the thoughts, sitting with the emotions, sitting with the feelings, sitting with the memories. I tell you, as somebody who also lost my father at 28 years old, suddenly. But fortunately, there was enough understanding to know that, wait, I'll just come back to this God source. I'll just come back to that which is connected to all things. I'll just come back to that place where nothing is ever lost, because this world and that world and any other world are all connected. And let me feel what that energy is like. Let me allow for all the thoughts, all the memories, all the emotions. Let me feel everything. Because I have this deeper understanding that there is something within me that is bigger than all of those other things. And only when I touch that infinite place, that infinite source within, can I recalibrate my guidance system and not only find my own path forward, but help somebody else do the same. And so, truly, when we're talking about dealing with doubt, when we're talking about dealing with situations where we're completely uncertain, we don't know how to move on, be it from the death of a loved one or from the death of an identity that we used to have, a certain purpose we used to think was ours. In all cases, coming back to this infinite ground of existence and letting it cleanse our thoughts, our memories, our emotions from the inside out.